One time for the Nightcappers checking in. This is DJ George Chuck, and we are excited to be on your Facebook. We're excited to be on your YouTube. We're excited to be on your Twitch for Nightcap Knowledge. Put something on your head before you go to bed, baby. We got Mr. Mac. We got Tanya Boy Cannon. Tanya's actually performing somewhere in New York tonight, so she may not be able to be on, but Mr. Mac and I will be here. And we have DJ Wild Wayne and his new seasoning, the Dadda Jerk Magic. So share this with somebody, share this with somebody, share this with somebody. DJ George Chuck, Mr. Mac, Tanya Boy Cannon, Nightcap Knowledge, live on your Facebook, your YouTube, and your Twitch. All my Nightcappers check in the comments. We'll be getting started in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nightcap Knowledge. We've got Mr. Mac checking in. He is here and he is himself. Definitely got to give a shout out to all of our supporters, especially our official water of Nightcap Knowledge, Aspira Pura. Refreshing taste, keeping it simple. Available at Amazon.com/Aspira Pura. We'll be getting started in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nightcap Knowledge. Biggity bounce. All right, let me see if I can unmute Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac, can you unmute yourself? All right, there we go.
I did it.
There you go. All right.
You know, I didn't want to be singing in the background. People hear me.
Oh,
you know, okay. I was like, so I had to make sure I was muted.
And my brother, what were you singing?
I was just humming the whatever it is.
The intro?
The beat. Yeah. You know, I was just going with the beat. That's all I had.
Were you scatting? Were you scatting with the music?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
All right, cool cats and kittens. Hey, I like movies. I like to watch them old Renaissance Harlem era. All right, cool cats and kittens.
Cool cats and kittens. This is DJ Easy Dick.
You gonna take it back? Some of that Snoop.
Tanya,
G.
Look, Mac. We got Tanya trying. She's doing her best to try to check in. Tanya, it's not gonna happen. Just go do the show, and we can't hear you, nor can we see you. Matter of fact, hold up. Let me take a picture of this, ladies and gentlemen. Tanya Boy Cannon is live from New York. She is live from somewhere in New York, and we cannot see, See, like, all right, here's the video. We can't see you on here, and then
Right.
we can see you right there. I'm doing a video. All right, so she left, but we want to remind you that Tanya Boy Canning is a touring, internationally known touring recording artist. So right now she's on tour somewhere in the world. I believe it's New York. But we want to thank her for her loyalty to the show. Shout out to Marcus Banks checking in. We appreciate y'all for the support of Nightcap Knowledge.
B&B barbecue.
Yeah, look,
Barbecue.
the Nightcappers are here. And the barbecue family, the Mississippi barbecue mafia, they're here. Look at Matt, got it. He representing for the Lou, as always. Am I? Got the Tougaloo hat on. Matt got the Tougaloo College Sigma shirt on. I am proud of my school. I think that Mac is proud.
I'm so glad that I went to Tougaloo. Hey, there it is. We do go back to our high school band days.
Yeah. Make everything into a song about your school.
Everything. Hey, everybody that's watching right now, remind you guys that this show is rated black and uncensored, real talk, real issues, real solutions. We're coming to tell you like a TI is. I gotta lay back some because my camera is a lot lower, and you see we still having a little technical difficulties. If you would like to donate to Nightcap Knowledge for just to help us in our endeavors, or just so that we can get better equipment, i.e. me, feel free to do so. Chuck will provide the information so that we can have a better quality studio so you can hear us talk more shit every Tuesday night.
Every Tuesday night, baby. We putting something on your head before you go to bed.
There it is. There it is. So listen, man. Talked about mental health minute, and right now it's a trying time for a lot of folks. There's a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of stress. They are going through things they never thought they'd go through before. There are a lot of people that are suffering financially. So we want folks to understand that when we talk about mental health minute, something that I think people need to know, you're going to compare yourself to folks you see, people in your age bracket, things that, people have the same position as you, different things, and you're going to compare. Understand, you have to be your best you. And I always say you got to know who you are and whose you are. But you do the things in your life that's going to help you be your best you. Chuck and I can have this same diet, same workout plan. We're going to develop differently. I'm going to work to be my best me. I can't be Chuck, right? Chuck can't be me. So we got to be the best version of ourselves while staying to be a better version of ourselves. And that means that sometimes you evolve and do some things different, but you want to continue to be your best you and not comparing yourself to other folks. You can use people to motivate you, but be you, So that's some things that we are working on and covering some things and definitely putting into the heads of the youth. But also I think that some of us, we need the reminder that we got to be the best us we can be. So I can't see comments right now. So if somebody said anything,
No, look, we got our brother Marcus. He's still out there. Matter of fact, let's take a moment to try to share this out to make sure that we can get some more of our nightcappers in here. I feel like we're missing a couple people tonight. Let's get the shares going right quick, and we're gonna make sure that we got everybody in pocket and ready to receive our guest, brother Wild Wayne, all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana. And shoot, man, look, I'm excited about this. I'm like, I need to get my coffee. Mac, I know that you're looking for your coffee from
I
am from New Orleans. So we've had a heavy influx of our New Orleans sisters and brothers, as we should, because we're welcoming Tanya to the show full time. Man, it looks like you coming in.
Yeah, I'm trying to close this one down. I got my computer up, bro.
All right, hold on. I'm about to remove you here. Let's see if we can get brother Matt. We got him there. Matt, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh snap! Look at that, looking like you looking.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm about to kick you from the studio on that one. All right. So we good to go on the other side. So man, look, thank you for that mental health minute, man. I think reminding ourselves that everybody else is taken and we need to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Now, what that makes me think of one of the things that I you heard me ask McRae earlier.
Right.
It makes me think of having a conversation with yourself and asking yourself, your current self, like, what can 2022 Chuck do to make 2028 Chuck proud of him? Meaning, like,
Right.
man, I'm glad I did that when I was 40. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we need to stop looking at our social media buddies and friends and start thinking about let's look at future self and really dig into what can I do right now. I see you pulling your Jack Apple out. I gotta go by the liquor store to get me some more apple, man. I'm missing out on my apple. But
Damn.
I am I'm on a personal journey and a personal learning experience right now to say to myself and the question, you know, all of our other friends and everything out there, what would your future self be proud of you for doing right now?
I want the people that are listening to actually answer, right? So this is not a rhetorical question. Actually answer.
Yeah.
So again, I look at goals from immediate plan, short-term goal, long-term goal, legacy plan. I'll be 42 in September. I'm working on a plan now to put us in a position where we can achieve and own more and be as debt free by the time I turn 52. With meaning that I want us to enjoy, those years and be able to not have to, worry about certain things. So that means you're gonna have to make more sacrifices now and be more wise to say, even to your next home, right? The next home, Chuck,
Right.
the next home you choose, you don't choose as 40-year-old Chuck. You're thinking about 90-year-old Chuck. When that hopping and splitting done caught up with him,
Right.
what kind of house he need to be in?
Right.
It looks nice to have a 3-story house, but with 90-year-old Chuck want to climb his ass up some damn stairs every night or to go up there to go to his office. You know what I'm saying? Like those questions you ask yourself, but you start making those plans now because if, say for instance, if you plan to build or move in the next 2 years, that needs to be part of your plan right now.
Yeah.
And your older self is gonna be like, I'm so glad you thought about me.
Right.
Boy, this thing right here is determined. I'm telling you, determined. We're not be turned around.
Come on, sis.
Boy, her and that Boost Mobile internet, wherever she is.
Whatever, wherever she is, the internet and cell signal is not very friendly at all.
It is terrible. But so yeah, so anybody that's listening right now, like, hey, drop something that you think that you will be proud of, or something for your older self. It might be your 60-year-old self, but something that you're doing now or that on your mind that the older version of yourself will be happy for, be thinking about. So
yeah, man.
I think that's a good process, Chuck, and constantly evolving. You set goals for yourself and say, hey, this is what I want to do by this time. And then the trick to that is not getting discouraged if you don't make the goal.
Right.
The celebration is you tried.
Yep.
You had the mindset. You plan to do so. So that's the biggest part of it. Of course, the major celebration is you achieve your goal or go beyond it. But having the mindset to say, hey, I want to do this by the time I'm this age. I want to put this in place. I want to have this in place. I want to have this ready. So way things are going right now, I think everybody, especially folk that look like us, you need to learn how to put a seed in some dirt somewhere.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Somewhere you need to be learning how to put a seed in some dirt.
Yeah.
Because your older version of yourself is going to thank you for learning how to do all that stuff now. If you do not know, you create some sustainability for yourself.
Look, man, tell me about what y'all did at the at Freedom Summer Camp today.
So we started off. Big shout out to DJ Venom. We started off talking about, of course, the Black comic books, but we got it more in depth talking about reading. We found out how the youth wasn't really big on reading. Like you always want to know social media now. You can have in the social media and technology, you can have a video or something like that. We want to talk about comic books to anime, but we were proving a point about reading, the fundamentals of reading, and how adults and Venom he did a little thing with them, a little I guess you said a little skit, a little walkthrough. He gave him his flyer. He said he get phone calls all the time, and folks ask him, "What's your address?" And he said, "Look at the flyer." He kept saying that, like you got the phone number, but you never, whether you Googled or whatever, he was just proving to them that people don't read and how reading sets you apart. So like one of the young brother that was there was talking about he wanted to be a basketball player. He wanted to go to the NBA. We're like, what's going to set you apart? So we talked about Kobe from an example of how he learned how to speak other languages so he could talk trash to the other players during the USA games, right?
Yeah.
So like, what are you going to do to set yourself apart? What things are you going to learn in reading? Tanya, is that your pose or did you freeze?
I believe this.
You froze.
Yes, you froze.
No, I'm not frozen.
Oh, okay.
You are. Honey, hey, cut your video. Cut your video and then just go audio.
Man, I'm drove right now.
Know what you say?
I sound so drove right now.
Oh, look, you starting to sound better.
Did you move?
What's crazy? No, I'm on my hotspot, but my phone won't work if I get on my phone, and then the Wi-Fi in the venue is not working.
Wi-Fi in the venue is not working.
And where are you again? And what area are you
I'm
in
at
again?
Birdland.
Yeah, she in
I
Birdland.
am in Times Square.
And they having a problem with internet? And they talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
New York City, but not say nothing to Mississippi.
Right. I know they got it. They should have 6G.
They should have 18G straight up.
All right.
All that they have going here. But you gotta jump off for 8 minutes. But I wanted to jump on, and of course, brother, they have any back.
Are you asking if Wild Wayne is on yet? Wild Wayne is not on because you breaking up terribly. Yeah. Hey, can you call me? Hello.
Call Chuck, Tanya, and then just watch from Facebook. Call Chuck. Call him on your phone. Hang up and call Chuck. Ladies and gentlemen,
go ahead, man.
Nightcaps and nightcappers, we are experiencing a slight bit of technical difficulties with Miss TBC over there.
Yeah.
She's posed for you guys. So we're gonna get this thing back on cracking in 1 second.
In a few minutes, baby.
And a few minutes. A few minutes, we're gonna get it back on and cracking. So we trying to get everything together, guys. We working with technology. The technology is a blessing and a curse in itself. You get dependent on it, and things happen like earlier. Hey, my tech guru, Jay, had got the computer back working, I came in and unplugged it to plug up my lights. And brand new battery now. It's been up. I'm talking about completely died. Like with a brand new battery. Battery came, I think, yesterday. So yeah, I'm like, you know what? There she go.
There she go. We'll see if I can.
And there go Mr. Wayne. There you go.
Hey, I see Wild Weezy. Okay, Tanya, you can't hear me. Mac, can you hear Tanya?
No, not really. Tell her to speak up.
I'm mad.
I know you're mad. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick you up.
Oh, I just heard her.
All right.
If
Man.
you turn it up some, Chuck, we probably hear y'all pretty good.
I got her coming in. Can you hear her now? Tanya, say a little bit.
I don't even want to talk because my feelings hurt.
Okay. Well, look, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Because I got Wild Wayne. He's in backstage of the studio. I know this your boy. You know, this your player partner from down in the 504. But I'm gonna do my
all day.
I know. So I'm gonna do my best to give the best introduction that I can, because I know I wake up in the morning, I listen to Q93, even though I'm all the way over here in Gulfport, Mississippi. We have a radio legend, we got an entrepreneur, we got I'm talking about not even radio legend, this dude a radio veteran. Like, he came, let me see. What's the most esteemed status? This dude should be like DJ Emeritus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
But he's also, don't forget, he's a conduit too. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a plug. He believes in
the plug.
Giving back and bringing up the next generation. So he's, along with being all of those great things, entrepreneur, businessman, father, radio elite. But he's also a philanthropist in so many ways, because he's constantly giving back, always giving words. If it's not words, if it's not financial, it's any way that he can be of assistance to help the next be great. That's who you call him.
That's who you call him. And look, right now, ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to give it up right now for my man, DJ Wild Wayne. Y'all give it up for him. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
wow.
She ain't here, so I got to make the noises for her.
I don't think you did it justice.
Chuck, you got to start off with, hey, what's your name? You're on the podcast with your boy Wild Wayne.
I like it a lot.
You got to do it. And I got to hear it to the stage. I love y'all. Have a great show. I'll hit you up when I get off stage.
Most deaf.
Love you guys. Peace.
Love you too.
Peace.
Man.
Now, where's
Wayne?
In Germany still?
No, I think she's stateside now. She's at the Birdland in New York City. So
that's right.
Yeah. So she is in the Birdland. For all of our Mississippi folk, we ain't talking about the Birdland that used to be on Fair Street.
What? Oh, I was about to say they done brought the Dirty Bird. Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, we bringing the Dirty Bird back. But ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Wild Wayne to the show. Radio veteran, DJ Emeritus, like still at it, still going, and we appreciate you for being here, brother.
I'm glad to be here, man. It's always a pleasure to be able to share with the audience out there, share with you guys. So boom, let's get it.
Man, for sure. So I have some questions. I know that you're here and you want to talk about your new rub, your seasoning, your Dadda jerk magic. But before, he pulled it from the back pocket, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hey.
Where our barbecue folk at? We had one of them in the comments a few minutes ago. Where'd he go?
Where's Marcus? Talk to us, Wayne.
The reason I actually had it, because the dude I'm about to go to Juvie Tuesday once we're done. I do every Tuesday night with Juvenile.
Yeah.
It's got like about 3 guys up like, man, bring us some seasoning, man. Bring us that rub.
Yeah.
And he just hit me on the DM. He was like, bro, you bringing the rub tonight? I was like, I'm going to bring the rub. God damn it. I'm going to bring the rub.
Hell yeah, man. So look, All right, I know you radio, and you've been doing it for a long time. How many years you been in radio?
So I started doing radio as a wide-eyed college student at Xavier University, one of the best HBCUs in the whole entire world. Yes.
Fan out there.
In 1991. So I've done it for a very long time.
Yeah, look, you got somebody they grew up on the 9 o'clock props. Look at them checking in the comments.
Hey, you, what's your name? You're on the podcast with your boy Wild Wayne. Yeah, you know what? I started doing radio just kind of as, I called it books and beer money. And,
yeah.
You know, books were high as hell. I didn't have much money. I needed to get my hustle on. I had like 2 or 3 jobs. I was working at the now defunct Times-Picayune, which was our local newspaper. And I just worked in like the assembly part where I assembled the paper. It was the worst job in the world. But it paid good, had good benefits. But I needed something else because I was on my own and trying to pay for college because I'd lost the scholarship. I went on academic scholarship and I was partying way too much. Xavier had the most beautiful women in all of America. And I was caught up and I lost my scholarship, but I wanted to stay in school. My dad refused to pay for it. He was like, well, you blew it. So if you want to go back to Xavier, you're going to have to pay for it yourself.
Yeah.
And so I was working at Times-Picayune. I was working at Blockbuster Video over on Carroll Avenue. And I needed one more job to fill in the gaps. And it was a job at the radio station. A good buddy of mine, Gerald James, who is now a podiatrist.
Okay.
No, I think he's an audiologist. What's the ear doctor?
That is definitely audiology, but ear, nose, and throat.
Yeah.
He
was taking a leave of absence to do military training. He was like, yo, if you can get in here and get this job, man, you can have it for the summer. And he was going to be coming back. So I was like, shit, I'll take it. Did what I needed to do. And actually, I never even listened to the radio. Like, I ain't listened to no radio. My musical taste at that particular period was everything from NWA to Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pretty healthy gamut of different music. But I didn't listen to the radio because I was in school and I was working a couple of jobs. So radio was the least of my concerns at that particular time. I was in survival mode.
Yeah.
And I got the job just as a show producer for a guy named Davey D, who's now in Fresno. And he was like really the guy at that particular time. So I was just doing a little producing of his show, getting his stuff together, answering the request lines. And my job was kind of like, Q93, what would you like to hear?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is boring. So I was like, I just let me come out because I was a hot boy in training at that time. And our show exploded. I didn't have any formal training in radio. I wasn't mass comm or anything like that. I was biology pre-med, actually.
Okay.
And I wanted to be a doctor. But this opportunity, I just was like, yo, nobody can see me. It's theater of the mind. And I'm about to just wild out and let's see what happens. And we were able to really create a dynamic duo. And he was already smoking, but it just made his star shine even brighter. And he got some jobs elsewhere. I still stayed because they just wanted him. And I was a little distraught about that whole thing because I thought we were like a team. But, it's kind of what happens. And they brought in another guy named Mike Fox.
Okay.
Who now works up in New York, I think BLS, and we did this giant show as well. That's where the 9 o'clock props were actually birthed.
Okay.
With me and Mike Fox, and I did all kind of stuff, and he ended up getting a job in Chicago.
So look, let me ask you this, Wayne. you're talking about all of these folks that they made a jump. You've been in New Orleans. You're from New Orleans, right?
I am.
What made you stay all these years?
So there were opportunities to move to other markets several times.
I can imagine.
But you know, one of the times when it was probably the most, there were a couple of really big times to move. But one of them was when the New Orleans music scene was really exploding.
Yeah.
And I was, for a lot of reasons, the maestro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being in the catbird seat, you know, when Baby and Slim were just a fledgling record company. Well, really, they were just a band of artists trying this music thing out.
Yeah.
You know, when you know, you had the TT Tuckers and the DJ Jimmy starting this new music format called Bounce.
Yeah.
That no one really understood except for the streets. You know, when you had a young entrepreneur named Master P or Percy Miller, you know, come and tell you every day, yo, I'm about to be the biggest thing in the world. And you'd be like, bro, you ain't did nothing yet.
Yeah.
But I like your push. And then, you know, like get these artists that I was already working with as a part of his team, the Mia X's, the Fiends, the Max.
Yeah.
All of those guys that I was already rocking with, Chopper Style and all of these folks.
Yeah.
I was I was the radio god in the country.
Yes, sir.
You know, like
yes, sir.
every you know, Mr. Servon, Mystical. I was rocking with all of these guys, you know, with the Lil Waynes, with the Turks, and with UNLV, with all the groups, you know what I'm saying, before. So, you know, that was happening. I had a video show that was huge called Fat and all of that.
Fat and all of that.
That I was the host of. It was before there was a 106 in Park. You know what I'm saying?
It was like on public access, or what was that on?
It was on Cox Cable.
Cox Cable, okay, all right.
And you know, it was like the biggest, like I was, you know, that pushed my star up to another level. You know, I was a rock star. You know, I couldn't go anywhere. Like it was, you know, at that time it was just like the box. You remember the box? Box News Television?
Uh-huh.
MTV was a baby, you know. BET was, nobody was really watching BET yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, I was doing the radio, and I was doing television, and I was the first DJ in the country to rock a tank, you know what I'm saying? When it was just sheet gold. It wasn't even bezeled out and all of that shit yet.
Yeah.
It was Birdman trying to give me a $sign and P trying to give me a tank at the a lot of controversy there. You know, Juvenile was already my people. You know, it was a lot, you know, radio, television. And then I was doing community work early. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I started doing my nonprofit and youth organization stuff in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So did I have other opportunities? Yes. But I was really in the center of everything.
Yeah.
So moving didn't make sense. And then later, you know, there were some other opportunities, but they were not moves that were gonna put me in a bigger space or monetarily better. I was gonna be moving along the same lines because the cost of living in New Orleans was so cheap. So I might have grossed more, but I would have netted less probably in another city. I'm an investment money guy too. That's always been like my hustle. And then, you know, I have family, and New Orleans is really a place that is magnetic, you know. And maybe I should have left, but my steps are always guided. So it was meant for me to be where I am.
Yeah.
Do I regret it? Sometimes you think about the what ifs or what would haves, but I've been able to draw my line in the sand, let's say, and do what I do. And, you know, I have acclaim across the country and the world for being really like the voice of New Orleans.
Most definitely. And we listen over here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I know that, you know, our local radio station, WJZD 94.5, they speak highly of you. The folks up in Jackson, WJMI, also 97.7 WRBJ, all of those folks speak highly of you. I've never heard, and we know the program directors, the mix show DJs, the PDs, all of those people, man, they speak very highly of you. And I'm proud to be here with you on our podcast that we've created. And with me saying that, and you having a podcast, how do you feel about the podcast boom? Like, what do you think about it in terms of how it is impacting, you know, traditional radio and the overall, you know, broadcast culture?
I don't think that it's affecting radio, because it's just built differently, and I think maybe it knocks talk radio a little bit, because there are probably much more interesting topics on podcasts, and you have it as an on-demand type of thing. So if you want to learn about chickens, or if you want to learn about pizza, or if you want to learn about the stock market, there is a podcast for that. Whereas terrestrial talk radio is going to be all sports or all politics or all conservative radio or whatever that is. So I don't think it really affects radio, but I do think that it has created a opportunity for the voiceless. So, like, whereas radio is very regimented in terms of what the genre is and, you know, how long you can talk or how long a segment may be or whatever, it makes the public be able to create their own narrative without the restraints and the bridles that would normally happen. Now, I started doing my podcast because I'd been listening to other podcasts for a long time, and this was before the craze, you know, because I saw what was happening and what was about to happen, and the fact that some major corporations were sinking money into it. So I was like, I need to jump on this. And then that was just my initial idea. I need to jump on it. But then once I started doing my podcast, I was able to really fine tune the direction that I wanted to go, which was culture, lifestyle, and cuisine, you know what I'm saying, which was like my 3 premise. Because I wanted to be able to control the narrative.
Okay.
And that's I had t-shirts with that and all of that kind of stuff. That's on our kind of our slogan, we control the narrative. Because, like, I just think there's so many stories that either don't get told or they get told by someone else that's not from the culture, the way that they would like to see it portrayed historically, which is not always the truth.
Now, for everybody that's out there, what's the name of your podcast?
So it's Wild Wayne Unchained.
Okay. And then I got a link to it, and I just wanted you to be able to give some more information about that. You gave your 3 buckets or your focus points, and we got a lot of folk that's tagging some people in the comments. Our partner Sabir, you know, he's the one that said he grew up on, you know, listening to you on the 9 o'clock props. But look, he's saying he's going to subscribe right now to the podcast, and I'm actually dropping the link in the comments for that. But give us an idea of the cuisine part so we can get into some of how you arrived at your jerk seasoning.
So for the cuisine part, obviously New Orleans is a city of amazing food. Yeah. I just got finished watching the Linda Green segment on Chef Linda Green, the Yakamine lady.
Oh, yeah.
She was featured on Street Foods on Netflix on the series today. But growing up as a kid in the 7th Ward, my grandmother used to have to watch us a lot. My parents were middle class America working, and I used to just sit there and watch her cook. Like, she cooked all kind of amazing dishes, 7 steaks with red gravy, the fried chickens, the greens, the gumbo zab, the amazing gumbo, just all different kinds of things, and you just kind of pick those things up because I was sitting in the kitchen. That's where the fan was. They had shotgun houses, they ain't run a whole lot of AC back then. You had to sit under the fan. They used to have these big box fans in the windows. You could sit under that fan, you were gonna catch that breeze, right? And especially in the summer, if they cooking in the summer, it's hot as hell up.
It's hot up in there.
Right. So I just watch, and so that was like some cool times, but you just kind of absorb that stuff. You don't always know when you're gonna need it, right?
Yeah.
As I became an adult, I was, like I said, I was a hot boy in training, right? So I needed to figure out, since I was a baller on a budget, how I was gonna cook for my goddamn self. And all of that stuff kind of came back. So, I cooked a little bit. I always just kind of cooked just for sustenance and made some good food, but it never really was pretty.
Yeah.
But it got the job done.
You still here?
Later, as we got closer to, let's fast forward all the way up to like 2019, right? The pandemic hits.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to 2017.
Okay.
So I got divorced, right? And a single man. I hadn't been on the scene in a long time, and I was really tipping on getting back into the scene. So I had a lot of free time, and cooking ended up kind of being a little bit therapeutic for me.
Most definitely.
So all of those old lessons from that 7-ward kitchen, and with the advent of YouTube having every single thing you could ever think of, and even this gonna sound crazy, but Pinterest has the best fooding, like plating pictures, ever.
Yes.
So you could travel the world on Pinterest or just on a Google search. You know what I'm saying? And so I learned some different techniques, and then also the advent of all these foodie shows. And, I just start experiment with some different things. And like, people were asking, are you about to open a restaurant? Cause I would be posting these dope ass pictures. And then just along that little particular journey, like, I've been to Jamaica several times, in other Caribbean cities, Caribbean countries. And there was really no Caribbean restaurants in New Orleans. They're starting to have some now, but there was never anywhere. And then you could go get your regular standard fares in the supermarket or whatever, jerk seasonings. But I could never get that flavor of the roadside guy.
Yeah.
With wood. Big ass cleaver hitting that pop, 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 and putting that joint in a styrofoam plate or whatever on the side with some foil. And it was just such an amazing taste. So I started fooling around and looked up some generic recipes and then start tweaking it to try and get that taste, right?
Yeah.
I finally got to a place where I was like, man, this is pretty damn good. And I would just, usually when I had some get-togethers or whatever at the crib, if I had other people like having like a party, I would make a batch of my jerk chicken. I was like, let me just sit it on your table and play the wall. Because I didn't want people to be biased and be like, oh, that's Wild Wayne, that's great. Even if and everybody was like, man, what is this? What kind of seasoning is this on there? And it's spicy. So that was right up a lot of people in New Orleans alley.
Yeah.
They were not familiar with jerk per se. And I met with a food scientist and fine-tuned my recipe. I went to a couple of jerk festivals in Florida. Went back to some other Caribbean cities and just started tasting whatever, and just see where mine stacked up. And then I had a really cool opportunity during one of these, I think it was a Jazz Fest period, So a friend of mine is one of Shaggy's managers.
Okay.
So while he had Shaggy and his whole team down, he was gonna do a taste of New Orleans for Shaggy, right?
Okay.
Gumbo, po' boys, etouffee, blah blah blah.
The whole thing.
I was like, man, I know you're gonna have Shaggy over there. Let me just bring some of my goddamn jerk chicken over there. So I brought it over there, and once again, I didn't tell him it was me because I had already met Shaggy a couple of times, so we were cool. We weren't boys or whatever, but we were familiar. And the first thing they went to was the jerk chicken. You know, I guess it was taste of home, and I didn't really say nothing. I didn't want to sweat them, and then I watched them go back for seconds. So I'm like, buddy. And I just did it. I just started putting it out there. I started doing a couple little festivals here and there.
Yeah.
Got really great reviews. Reversed. I got good reviews from Shaggy and his team. Once, they had a couple of red stripes in them. I was like, so what y'all think about that jerk? And they were like, it was good, but it wasn't black enough.
Okay.
I made it like golden brown, perfect. Yeah. They wanted more char on it.
Okay.
They loved the taste. So once I got that co-sign, like it was on. Like I used a couple of angles I had, like what Angela Yee gave her and her crew some. Yeah, I've been knowing her since MTV days, before Breakfast Club, and like Mike Epps and Jim Jones.
My co-host, that's his cousin. That's Mac Epps. Okay. You got Mike Epps. That's Mac.
We from the same plantation. And that's what happened. That's how we got the name.
Y'all from the same tribe. All
right. Same tribe.
So that's what happened. I put it out there, did e-commerce, and then the pandemic came and that kind of slowed me down. But it was cool. I do good numbers on that. I do a lot. Hey,
yeah. We got to throw it up there, man, because we talking about it.
Yeah.
Wow, not a jerk magic.
There it is.
The website is actually in the comments for everybody that's out there looking right now. You want to go and grab some, and Wayne, people can place orders and you shipping this stuff, right?
Yeah. E-commerce. That's kind of my go-to. And the real easy one, there's a whole long one, but you can go to bitedat.com.
I bet I'm
BiteThat.com. That's a t-shirt. You got a t-shirt for that yet? BiteThat.com.
I have shirts. My slogan is, "Have you been jerked yet?"
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
So that's how that whole thing. It was also part of the plan for it was like, and I'm still gonna do it. Was to have some merch, to utilize my popularity, utilize my brand, to have some merch with it. So I actually am in the stages of trying to create some other spice blends for other influencers that maybe is unique for them. I was really trying to get with Fifth Wall Weeby before he passed away and do a seafood line.
Yeah.
/with him. But definitely gone too soon. Rest in peace to Weeby. But that's how that whole thing happened, and it's doing well. I appreciate you asking about it, and I don't mind talking about it.
Hey man, look, I'm excited to come over and grab some from you locally because I'm right here in Gulfport, so I'm gonna have to pull up on you.
I'm gonna be out there next week.
Let's see. Hold up, next week. What's next week? What you got? Monday.
Yeah. Monday.
All right, I'll be here. We definitely gonna have to hook up. I thought you might have been saying like next weekend. I got a wedding I gotta do, and I gotta leave Friday, because I'm still a working, mobile, agile, and hostile DJ.
Get it.
But yeah, man, look, I definitely want to hook up with you when you get over here. I come wherever you at, but we appreciate you for one, for being ambitious and entrepreneurial, for leading the way, being the plug for, in the Southeast, the Gulf South. A lot of people try to look over us, from other places. So, right. Man, look, I appreciate you being a champion for New Orleans for sure, but for the South as a whole. And I want to get some of them off-camera stories about
Nah.
how you had to have them conversations between the dollar sign and the tank.
And the memoirs, brother. You want to pay for that in the book.
That's the book.
Hey, that's the book.
A guy approached me just a week ago about trying to start penning a memoir, which is pretty humbling.
Yeah, it is. See,
but you know, like, man, we need to capture the stories, and it just goes along with that same thing, like controlling the narrative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so many really great stories and great things that have happened, you know, from the start to now, and it just keeps getting better, which is crazy, you know, from just being a little small part-timer to being a full-timer to being number one to starting the 9 o'clock props. And the 9 o'clock props, actually, I'm gonna tell you this really crazy story because it ties into today. The whole, I don't know if you've seen this little challenge, this meme. It's like one of the most viral things in the world right now. But it's with a guy named Louis Theroux, and it's a song called "My Money Don't Fold, It Jiggle Jiggle."
Mm-hmm.
So that came from the 9 o'clock props, believe it or not.
What?
So Louis Theroux had this show called The Weird World of Louis Theroux or something like that in London. He did this show, and he came down to learn how to rap, right? And he actually came to your part of town first.
Word. He
came to do this piece with Reese and Bigelow.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
It is.
Shout out to Reese and Bigelow.
Shout out to Bigelow, Chef Bigelow.
So people don't know, like a lot of people don't know that Bone Crusher Jack them back in the days.
Yes.
Yep.
We know. Oh, Mississippi, no.
oh, I know. And you know, we knew because I was booking a lot of artists at that time, you know, and I was back and forth to the coast doing shit from New Orleans to Atlanta. You know, that was my run basically.
Yeah.
And so he went over to the coast to get with them on helping them write a little rap.
Okay.
He also did like a part where he was finding out about Pen and Pixel, you know how they did they thing back in the days.
Okay.
And then he was in search of the Hot Boys. So along the way, of course, they had heard about the 9 o'clock props because the city stopped when 9 o'clock props came on. So I talked with
everybody at the radio.
Yeah, I talked with his producers about him coming to do his little Reese and Bigelow rap, and it was straight comedy. But this 20 years ago or better, you know what I'm saying? And as sometimes these things happen, it came back around, and all the kids started singing his little rap or whatever, which was never really put out other than the show and YouTube fame. And you know, it's probably one of the biggest viral trends right now, other than pink sauce on TikTok.
So here's a weird story, Mr. Wayne. Chuck and I both graduated from Tougaloo College, right? Another HBCU right up here. That's what Tanya finished at after Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
One of our friends and a fellow alumni was working with them, and that's Kamel King.
Okay.
He's an attorney and he deals with entertainment. He was working with Reese and Bigelow, and he made that post about finally 20 years later that Reese and Bigelow were going to get they just due. And he talked about that. And I saw that post about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. When he started talking about it. It's just a small world how things are connected. But he just put in, and then I was actually I was bartending, bad combination, Chuck DJ bartend, New Year's Eve party where Chef Bigelow was doing the food, you know. So
wow.
Yep. So yeah, it's a definitely a small world.
Yeah, Wayne, I'm gonna send you that screenshot because Reese and Bigelow they actually getting paid from the work that they did from that song that you just referenced.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to talk to their attorney.
Hey,
I need to get it on this gravy train.
Hey, buddy, come on.
You know how to get in contact with him.
Yeah. Hey, that shout out to the copyright king, Kamel King.
King. Hey, can you find him, Chuck, on put him up so he can see it?
Oh yeah. I got him pulled up right now.
And matter of fact, so his dad is a legendary DJ here. His dad created our version of Soul Train here, which was called Black Gold.
Okay.
Back in the day,
legendary, bro.
Black Gold was legendary, man. And his dad is the one that created that. And man, it used to go hard. It used to go hard. Black Gold.
That's the copyright king right there.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, Camille King. And then here's the post that we were referencing. And I went to go pull it up when you started talking about it. I was like, man, that's the same joint. So here it is right here, 20 plus years later.
Right.
He references the the Bone Crusher incident, right?
See, I know all of this. A lot of people know all of that, man.
Yeah. So look at this. Paperwork has been secured for the ownership rights for both Reese and Bigelow now. And then Jiggle Jiggle produced by Duke and Jones. 10 million streams, 10 billion views on TikTok, 1 billion likes on TikTok, all of that stuff, man. So yeah. Real deal. And it was inspired by you.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy? Huh?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's just been so many different waves, like I said, doing that and the TV shows and my nonprofit organization, probably one of my favorite things. And I had talk show for a very long time that was really, really big because it dealt with like really serious issues, especially post Katrina.
Yeah.
When a lot of African Americans were getting the short end of the stick on resources. And then other cultural things and, having been in the Girl Trip movie and, the radio thing is still doing good. In my music conferences, I did like 75 of those. And, now I'm doing the Pelicans. I'm the voice of the Pelicans now.
Yep. I brought my boys to the game, man. I was like, hey, that's Wild Wayne. And they like, Dad, who 4-year-old and 8-year-old. They were like, who is Wild Wayne?
Right. And I'm on NBA 2K as well. So
oh wow.
Yeah, I'm doing the voice.
The drops. He be ready with the drops.
Damn, boy.
Yeah, hit me with that good Chris Tucker, huh?
Yeah, man. Like somebody drops something like that, I gotta give it a damn.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm on a video game. In case you did not know.
This light flex.
Yeah, just a little bit,
And NBA 2K23 will be coming out in a couple of weeks, so just
a plug.
Yeah,
put it in there. Yeah. Get the bags. Another bag right there. He just dropped it. Got another bag. Drop it in the comments, Chuck. Tell him to go get the NBA.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. As soon as he get a clip, we're gonna definitely play it here on Nightcap. But we're also I try to get one of the writers from Black with No Chaser. See if they can do an article on that release and definitely do like a post featuring, your voice and all of that stuff. So
hey, and then look, I'll send y'all copy of the game once it comes out. If y'all want to give your awesome listenership base a copy, like when it first comes out, I think September 9th.
Heck yeah,
oh, yeah. Hey,
that's Mac's birthday.
That's my birthday, September 9th.
Hey, they sending me copies. I'm sharing the wealth.
Hey, look. I'll make the trip. We'll get on over there.
And we'll go that. Listen, anything with basketball, I pass that to my wife. I shot so many goddamn bricks playing basketball. I'll build a house. She is the hooper. That is not me.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait for the new season, man. The Pels are gonna be a really good team this year.
Yeah.
Having signed Zion to that 5-year deal, and got CJ McCollum now, who's doing really good. Brandon Ingram, one of the best two-way players in the league.
Yeah, my 4-year-old, his favorite player is Jackson Hayes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, he had 32 the other night in the Lewis League. But shit, watch out for Herb Jones, man.
Herb got it.
Ooh, how they said, not on Herb.
All right. Hell yeah. Well, look, Wild Wayne, I know you got to get to Juvie Tuesday, man. We appreciate you for being here with us, sharing some time with us. We definitely gonna keep in contact. Mac, what you got one more thing?
I got one more. It's actually an important question. I know you can't give out your secrets, but in your rub, is there any coconut in your rub?
No.
Okay. I asked because we plan on supporting, and we have a coconut allergy in the house, so we want to make sure
No nut products, no nut byproducts, or any of that stuff.
All right, and we get the coconut, man. Go get the coconut. We don't want that in there, so we're going to get that rub there, Chuck.
And it's hot. Now it's hot now. It ain't no punk.
Ain't no punk beach.
It ain't no punk, man. See, when you get that Dadda in your life,
yeah,
it is.
Woo-woo.
The Dadda.
We gotta try it out. Gotta try it at least one time. Gotta try it at least one time.
We gonna get a hold to it. So Wayne, look, we're gonna throw it back up on the screen one more time. The Dadda, you go ahead and give it to us, and then we're gonna make sure we pump it out through Black with No Chaser and all of our social media platforms.
Yep. If y'all need to get it, go to bitedat.com. And the number's on there as well. No shame. No shame. Get that in your life. Have you been jerked yet?
There it is. So look, we
got to get him up in Mississippi for a show, man. We got to get you up here for a show. Bring it up here because you got a fan club up here. We want to bring you up here, and we're gonna bring everything you got. We're gonna bring the rub, anything else you selling. If you selling used tube socks with your signature on them, we're gonna sell them too.
I'm gonna find some. We setting up a merch table, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Chuck is an apparel designer too. He makes all our shirts and stuff.
We're gonna have a conference and get with the copyright king.
Hey, there it is.
We got the team, baby. We got the team.
Because what?
We trying to get to where, Chuck?
Yeah.
Come. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. This has been another episode of Nightcap Knowledge. We had Wild Wayne on the show, baby, and that Dadda jerk magic. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to the official water of Nightcap Knowledge, Aspira Pura. Refreshing taste, keeping it simple. We're going to see y'all right back here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're going over to bitedat.com and get some of that. And we'll see y'all right here next week. Peace. Appreciate you, Wild Wayne.